Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. I hope you're having a good day. We have been studying perimeter and area of different shapes. I'm going to give you a very small test on this today, but I want to talk about some of the questions on this test so that you don't get mixed up. First of all, make sure you go back and review all the notes and answer keys. You're allowed to use those things on this test, so make sure you use them. Now, the first thing you need to remember is the difference between perimeter and area, okay? Now, perimeter means the distance around an object. So if we were talking about the perimeter in number 1, you would want to add up the distance around the object. Area is something completely different. Area is the amount of space taken up by the inside of the object. And remember, we worked on a bunch of math equations for area of different objects. For this particular shape, it's a triangle. So the math equation for area of a triangle is base times the height divided by 2. So make sure you use the right math equation with the right object. And again, all of that stuff we've already done. You just got to go back and review your examples. When you're doing area equation, I want you to make sure you start off with the math equation and then substitute in the numbers and work down the page, just like in the examples I had done. In this assignment, you're going to get 2 marks altogether, 1 mark for showing your work correctly, and 1 mark for the correct answer. Now, speaking of the answer, make sure that you put your answers either as centimeters or centimeters squared or meters squared. You have to have units of measurement with your final answer. Now, I just want to talk about a couple questions in particular here. Don't forget, so I want to look at number 1. Whenever I have a dotted line like this one, that dotted line is not part of the shape. It's an imaginary line that represents the height of the object. So this line is a dotted line. It is not part of the object. It represents the height of the object. Okay, you'll see that again down here. In this triangle, this is the triangle. These dotted lines are imaginary lines that are drawn so we can show the height of the object, because the height is not measured diagonally. The height is measured straight up and down from the base to the top. So this distance right here is the height of the object. These 2 dotted lines are not part of the object. They're just there to help us measure the height. You'll see that one more time right here in this parallelogram. Pardon me. This dotted line is not part of the object. It is there so you can measure the height of the object. Okay? Now, last thing I want to remind you, in each of the objects, they're not there all the time, but sometimes you'll see little ticks like this. Whenever you see a little tick, so this little tick here, it says this side is 8 centimeters. That same matching tick falls over here. That means this side must be 8 centimeters as well. So when you have similar little ticks, we'll call them, that means those sides are the same. And you'll see this a few times, right? You'll see it here. This side is 4.5 centimeters, and that means every side is the same. So that means every side here is 4.5 centimeters. Okay? So I think that should answer all the questions you have. The rest of it is up for you to do. And all the answers are back in your previous assignments. You just got to make sure you go back, okay, and look at how to do each of the calculations and then do them for these particular objects. And as I said, last reminder before I wrap it up, don't confuse perimeter and area. They are 2 different things, okay? So good luck on this. Give it a shot, and it'll be due, let's say it'll be Tuesday of next week. That's all for now. Flexing Teacher Weber, out.